What's up YouTube, Doomnyc here to give you deck doctor number 2. This is for YugiohMaster2009. He sent me a frog build and he wanted me to fix it up for his locals, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, I don't have his build ready, but I have the finished product, so that's what I'm gonna show him and you guys. So here we go. Alright, first off we got 3 Substitute. You gotta run it. It's like the main card in the deck. Basically, he attributes a monster on your side of the field and special summons a frog from the deck. It's like so important to do that. You gotta run 3 of these, and you gotta get this guy out like first turn, second turn, latest. Okay, or else this deck is done. 2 Ronin Totem. He has a great effect. He's got 2000 defense, and when he's in the graveyard you can remove from play like a frog type and special summon him. So the point is that you're gonna be special summoning him like more than once per turn from the grave, because he's gonna keep getting tributed. So that's really good. 3 Swap Frogs. Gotta run this guy. Love him to death. This guy is awesome. Basically, you get to special summon him by ditching 1 frog from your hand to the grave, and then he can dump stuff. Like when he's on the field, you can like dump a card like a frog monster from your deck to the grave, or send 1 from the field to the grave, but you don't want to do that. You want to send it from the deck to the grave. Okay, so 3 of those definitely. Then you got 3 Dupe Frogs. He's another 2000 defense guy. The monsters on your opponent's side can't attack anything else but him, so he's a little bit of a stall. But his real effect is that when he goes from the field to the graveyard, doesn't have to be by battle any means, right? When he goes from the field to the graveyard, you get to add 1 frog monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Obviously you don't want to pull them out of the graveyard, so you're going to be pulling them out of the deck. Remember, this deck is based on thinning out the deck and putting everything in your grave, so this guy is also great. 3 Unifrogs. Basically, he attacks directly, which is great. So if you got 3 of them on the field, you're gonna deal 1200 damage, and then they're gonna be tributed off for even more damage. And then on top of that, they're water types and they're effect monsters, but I'm gonna get into that in a sec. Alright, we got 3 Submarine Frogs. He's probably the crappiest card in this deck. The only reason I'm running him is because he's frog and he's water type and he's an effect monster. But other than that, his effect is he deals the difference in damage, like between attack and defense, but he's only a 1200 attacker. If he was like 1800 attack, then this card would be so good, but he sucks, so you gotta use him, but he's terrible. That's like one of the cards you're just gonna dump in the grave like all the time. Then we got 3 Flip-Flop Frogs. He's not that bad. Basically once per turn you can like flip him to defense, flip him back up or whatever, and depending on the amount of frogs you have in the field, you can return that amount of cards on your opponent's side of the field to their hand. So that's actually really good for like attacking wise. Like that's really awesome. So yeah, just to deal like extra damage, that's pretty cool. So you got 3 of those. And last but not least, 2 Treeborn Frogs. Treeborn Frog, you tribute him off, you deal some damage, boom, he comes back the next turn. Like it's constant flow, like you gotta use it. Yu-Gi-Oh Master used like Poison Draw Frogs in his build, but you can't use it in this build because it misses the chance. Like you're gonna see like right now, the spells, I'm using 3 Mash Driver. Yes, this is the frog burn deck. What I was talking about, the Poison Draw Frog, when he goes from the field to the graveyard, you get to draw 1 card, but if you tributed him off with Mash Driver, like he misses his chance to use his effect because of the burn damage. So when he goes to the grave, you don't get to draw that card. So Poison Draw Frog is pretty much useless now. So because I'm using the burn version of the frogs, Poison Draw is like no longer good. So that's why he's not in the deck. 3 Mash Driver. You tribute a monster on the field and you deal 400 points of damage. So when you like swarm with frogs, that's like 400 for each, and then you keep bringing stuff back, so it's like constant damage. That's why this is like OTK. One foolish just to bury stuff, and there's a lot of stuff to bury in this deck. One for one for ditching one of your frogs and bringing Substitute on the field really quick. One scapegoat, you gotta run this. I love the fact of how cheap the effect is of Substitute, that he can tribute off anything, even tokens. So you play Scapegoat when Substitute is by himself on the field, you tribute off the 4 tokens for 4 frogs, and then with Mass Driver you start tributing off for damage. Like, really broken. One brain control, just because you can take your opponent's monster and then tribute it off for damage, so that's really gonna piss somebody off. One pot of avarice, just to recycle. You don't really want to recycle, but at least you get to draw 2 cards, so that's pretty good, but I'm only running one of those. 2 hand destruction, another great card because you get to dump stuff. So like, you draw, you dump 2, you draw 2, and it's kind of like constant because you're emptying out your deck. Like, this deck depends so much on emptying the deck, guys, that I can't even stress that enough. 3 Moray of Greed, you're putting 2 water types back in your deck to draw 3. Why is this good? It's good because you're gonna be emptying out your deck to get stuff you need. If you need those Substitutes, if you need those Mass Drivers, like, this is how you're gonna do it. This deck has so much draw power, it's crazy, especially in this format. Let's go into the traps. We've got 1 Gravity Bind. You gotta run it just to stall out for a turn or 2, because that's pretty much how long it'll last. 1 Ceasefire, extra burn damage, great because you always gonna have like a full field. Like, if you set this and then you've got a full field of frogs, like, you flip that up, they're all effect, and your opponent most likely is gonna have like 1 or 2 in like defense or whatever, so you're gonna deal like at least 3,000 damage like every single time you play this. That's why it's so broken. Solemn and 2 Starlight Road. This is the first deck I'm running 2 of these, only because it needs a lot of protection, especially against cards that are going to destroy more than 1. Heavy Storm is going to be like the main factor in this deck, trying to destroy your Gravity Binds and your Mass Drivers. So Starlight Road, you need that protection. Okay, let's go into the side deck really fast. 2 Consecrated Lights for Infernities, Jujus for Gladiator Beasts. Remember, you want this deck to do well in locals, so you need like counters to stuff. 1 MST, just in case they're playing like a deck that you need to destroy something in the back row. Another tech for the side deck, Water Hazard, in case you need to special summon more for this deck. This can special summon any of your frog monsters as long as you don't have a monster in the field, so it's like Valhalla for frogs. It's really good. Divine Wrath, I love this card. You get to discard one of the frogs. If you got the Tree Barn, you get to discard that, and you get to destroy like an effect monster on their side of the field. So the Caiuses, the annoying Caiuses, the Dark Arms, all the Blackwing stuff, yeah, you get to get rid of that. Mirror Force and 2 Froggy Force Fields. These are like more Mirror Forces. This is just more defense. 1 Call It a Haunted. It's basically, you could bring back frog stuff, but if you're going for like OTK and the like Stardust went to the graveyard, you can bring it back, so that's pretty cool. 2 Mirror of Oaths just for defense, and the same thing, 2 Deep Prisons for the same reason. Alright, now let's go into the extra deck real quick. Extra deck, 3 Stardust Dragon, bam, that's it. That's all you need. You can put anything you want in here, just as long as there's 3 Stardust Dragons, and that's all, guys. Alright, so yeah, that was my frog burn deck, YugiohMaster2009. I hope you build it and play with it for a little while, get used to it. This is excellent. Like, this is like gonna be one of the top played decks for the year, so yeah, I hope you do well at locals with it. So keep commenting, rate, subscribe. So until next time, YouTube, peace.